Thank you. Okay, any other public comment?
Move to close the public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any council comments? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Griffin Uzak.
Yes.
Councilmember Mascola.
Yes.
Councilmember Massaro.
Yes.
Councilmember Perelstein.
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. Prasad.
Yes.
Councilmember Sigliano.
Yes.
Council President Deal.
Yes. 1666. Clerk, read by title, please.
An ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and establish a cap bank for the fiscal year 2009 budget.
Okay, I'd like to open up the public comment. Do we have a motion?
Motion to close the public portion?
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, do we have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, council comments?
Council President, I will not be supporting this. As I've said, I feel very strongly, particularly with the economic situation that we have, that we should live within our means, and I just won't be supporting it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, any other council comments?
Yeah, Council President.
Sir?
Not to be argumentative or take issue with the councilwoman, because I respect her philosophical differences on this, and that's, as far as our discussions, that's all they are. I intend to vote yes on this, and I intend to vote yes because this measure is purely discretionary. It depends upon whether the council approves or disapproves that amount of money. The real test in our spending will come when we vote on the 08-09 budget sometime after the public hearing on November 24, it is? November 24. That's essentially when the rubber meets the road. At this point, this is, from my perspective, more of a philosophical issue. And just to be very, very clear on it, it is my hope that when we do approve a budget, we will be doing better than what we have in front of us for purposes of the taxpayers. And that all ties into Resolution 575, where we're going to be adopting another temporary budget tonight, which will put us 5 months into the 12-month year. But I don't want to get into the world of budgets and economics right now, but I'm going to support this in that it is largely discretionary, dependent upon what we do with the budget. That's all, sir.
Thank you, sir. Any other council comments? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Griffin Uzak.
Yes.
Councilmember Mascola.
Yes.
Councilmember Massaro.
Yes.
Councilmember Perelstein.
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. Prasad.
Yes.
Councilmember Sigliano.
No.
Council President Deal.
Yes. Okay, moving on to new business, 1667. Clerk, read by title, please.
An ordinance authorizing a public access easement from 940 Amboy Avenue LLC and 946 Amboy Avenue LLC in connection with property identified as lots 1A and lots 22 through 26 in Block 694T in the Township of Edison, which lands have recently been or are about to be subdivided into two parcels consisting of new lots 1.02 and 22.01 in Block 694T.
I move this ordinance be passed on first reading, published according to law, and set down for further consideration and public hearing on Monday, November 24, 2008.
Second.
Okay. Any council comments? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Griffin Uzak.
Yes.
Councilmember Mascola.
Yes.
Councilmember Massaro.
Yes.
Councilmember Perelstein.
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. Prasad.
Yes.
Councilmember Sigliano.
Yes for introduction.
Council President Deal.
Yes. 1668. Clerk, read by title, please.
An ordinance amending Title VII of the Code of the Township of Edison regarding residential permit parking for Runyon Avenue.
I move this ordinance be passed on first reading, published according to law, and set down for further consideration in a public hearing on Monday, November 24, 2008.
Second.
Any comments? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Griffin Uzak.
Yes.
Councilmember Mascola.
Yes.
Councilmember Massaro.
Yes.
Councilmember Perelstein.
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. Prasad.
Yes.
Councilmember Sigliano.
Yes for introduction.
Council President Deal.
Yes. Okay, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to open up the public comment on the resolutions. Mr. Tamaro?
Charles Tamaro, 4 Waverly Drive. On Resolution 547, I know the council will probably support, and they absolutely should, but I'd just like to make a comment on Halcon, who is the qualified low bidder. Now, Halcon is, you couldn't find a better and more qualified bidder to do the construction and reconstruction of the Papiani Park basketball courts. They have done numerous parks in our community and mostly all the basketball courts and tennis courts. And if you go past those parks like Paternity, Swales, Ian and April Durant Park, which used to be George Street Park, Lindquist Park, Mrs. Rosigliano will have to tell me because I don't go by that park too much. It's too far on the other side of town. But if you go past those parks on any given day, there's usually a line waiting for people to play basketball, or the tennis courts, Oak Tree, and the North 8th Avenue, and the I don't know if there's any other parks that have them, but all those parks get tremendous usage in our community. And what I would like to also see, and I've mentioned this in the past, we have two other parks that we need to look at. One is the Elmire Park, which is on Jefferson Boulevard, and what's that, Oakcrest or whatever, Oakwood, and the Dwyer Park, which used to be Golf Edge. There's two more parks there that have tennis and basketball courts that definitely need upgrading. So if we can look into them and also refurbish them, because when we do that, you can't believe the amount of usage that they receive during the year. As a matter of fact, I've gone by Paternity Park at night, and they have the cars lined up so they can still play basketball at night, although they're not supposed to, but that's how much they care about playing the game. I just have one question on 578. What is that agreement between the squads and the township-owned ambulances? Has it changed at all?
Council President,
Sure.
These agreements just formalize the use of the ambulances, the responsibility, the guest, the equipment, when equipment is used, when
Same as we've
vehicles-
done in the past when Squad 2 received their ambulance, and I think
Correct.
Clara Barton also had an ambulance.
Yeah, it
too.
just refines certain responsibilities relative to the use of the ambulances and the condition, whose responsibility is when vehicles are needed by the township, that
Right.
we have the right to get them on a first, a priority basis.
Yeah, exactly, because I know they've ran into issues where, they needed the ambulance because the fire rescue had broken down, and they went over and took the one. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Public comment on the resolutions? Sir?
Bill Brunner, 215 Loring Avenue. On 546, I'm glad that we're getting some contribution from the Home Depot. It's nice to get the $3,000 and their volunteers, but I'm concerned, when are we going to implement that grant and any other actions that the town council has promised us with our senior citizen complex?
Okay. Mr. Cancro, can you help us out here?
Council President, we just received the grant last week, and now Home Depot has to organize the in-house staff to come out and pick a date when they can be here together. So it's up to them to kind of organize a date when they can come and do the work.
Well, no offense, but of course $3,000 isn't going to get us a lot of work done. The rest has to be provided by the town. And when are we going to see some action?
I'll say it again. We just received the grant last week.
Well, no, I know the grant, but I mean, this has been in the works with or without the grant. You've been talking about doing something with our Edison Senior Citizen Center, which is in deplorable condition, not only structurally, but also it's too crowded now with the nutrition program there, and we need to get going and do something.
I beg to differ with you. I think we've made significant improvements to the center. Members of this council have gone there and seen the changes. We've gotten very positive feedback from seniors that come into my office and have called me. I know there are things that you're still not happy with, but I think you need to work with Judy and John Grunn to make those suggestions, either to the council, myself, or Judy and John.
Okay. In all fairness to everyone speaking, I'd like to keep this conversation for the resolution. Okay. And then, Bill, I know if you have concerns, we can bring them up after the resolution.